we have a lot of first-time home buyers out there who are shopping for their very first home, right? There's a lot of moving parts to buying real estate. What was the biggest challenge of buying your first home?
Believing other people that weren't the professionals, you know?
We're basically going on dates. We're shopping and because we are going to be working with the biggest financial asset or investment that we're going to make. So you have to have the right people with you or on your team.
100%.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
Pleasure working with you, and let's keep doing big things.
Let's go, baby.
I'm here with Daniel Rodriguez.
That is me.
The one and only, and very, very talented videographer, graphics designer.
Keep them coming.
One man show who happens to have 100,000 views on his
just recently
his reels. Recently. You know, when I grow up, I want to be like Daniel. So how's it going, Daniel?
No, thank you. No, it's actually been going pretty well. I mean, family's growing. We just had a baby, so it's kind of hectic. Right. It's funny because I used to work at the bank in the financial industry, in the business banking industry, and I would always have like a issue with them giving me like 1 week of like paternity leave.
Yeah.
And I had to go right back to work. And now I went back to work like 4 days later.
Right.
Yeah, I had a baby shower that I completely forgot about, and to be honest, but the client called me, hey, we're just ready for tomorrow, and I'm like, yes, I am ready for tomorrow. So,
isn't it great to actually make your own schedule?
Yes.
I mean, there's pros and cons about being self-employed, but
yes.
I mean, you really do make your own schedule, but at the same time, you almost work twice as much. Sometimes it seems like we're working 24/7.
Yeah, I think what it is more than anything is like being self-employed only gives you the ability to choose when you want to work. Mm-hmm. So like I get to go take my son to school and then pick him up from school, so I don't work then. But I'm also working like Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, sometimes at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm visiting my mom and I'm like editing, at her kitchen table. Mm-hmm. But it's like it gives us the ability to be more flexible with our time, but we still work 24/7.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, it's and that's probably a whole other podcast session.
Yes.
About the pros and cons about being self-employed.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
all right. So you mentioned baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
Without throwing anyone out or under the bus, what was the coolest baby shower gift you guys got?
That we got is probably, I'm thinking of all the gifts. It's between the stroller, because it was really nice, because it converts into like a bed, and then it also a car seat, and then that one bed turns into like a toddler car seat or stroller. Yeah. So it's like a 3-in-1 kind of thing. So that was pretty cool. Or like a bassinet with like what's that thing you carry around? It's like a bed, but it's, I don't know what it is.
Like a little, I think it's like a Moses basket or something.
Yeah, like a Moses basket.
Yeah.
And has like a changing station, and then you can take those off, and then now it's like the carriola where you can just throw the baby in there and like let him chill. Yeah, I don't know my baby stuff. It's been 9 years.
Hey, it's been a lot longer for me. So,
but yeah, it was nice to get gifts, things you have to buy. But I think diapers and wipes take the cake for everything, because we don't have to probably buy any diapers or wipes for like the next at least 6 months.
Yeah.
So I think
those and diapers and formula.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
and she's breastfeeding.
Oh, okay.
Maybe TMI, but she's breastfeeding.
Saves you a little money. I mean,
so it'll save us a lot of money for there.
Absolutely. You just have to feed her well too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm sure you're super happy about
sleeping less, working more.
Yeah.
So that's the story of my life.
Okay. Well, that's being self-employed too. So, okay. So Daniel, I'm a real estate agent. We're focusing a lot on real estate and basically tapping into all sorts of different areas of real estate. So I want to focus on the home buying process, right?
Right.
Like you're a homeowner.
I am.
You have a beautiful piece of property.
Thank you.
Yes, and I have seen it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So we have a lot of first time home buyers out there who are shopping for their very first home, right? There's a lot of moving parts to buying real estate. You have to be you have to first be pre-qualified. You have to know what you can afford, what you can't afford, and in addition to that, you have to have the right people on your team because you are out there building a team.
Right.
You have to get the right agent for you that works perfectly with you. You have to get the right lender. So many different moving parts. So as a first-time home buyer and I'd like to ask you so people out there who have never bought a home and are getting ready to buy one, what was the biggest challenge of buying your first home?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge for us, I mean, we bought our first home when we were 22. So we had just gotten married. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we bought out in the foothills, and especially like in the Hispanic like community, like everybody's like a professional, right?
Yes.
Like, oh, my knee hurts. Oh, you gotta put,
someone's always wearing the Target vest.
Exactly. Yeah.
George Lopez
like,
stand-up.
So I would tell everybody like, oh, we're purchasing a home, and people would be like, oh no, that's unheard of, like in like my household, or like, oh, you got to save up a lot of money to do that, or yeah, you should just go buy a house, like go look for the house and then call the people on there and say you're interested in buying the house. So like our biggest thing was like believing other people that weren't the professionals, know. It's until my brother, and I talk to my brother all the time about stuff, and I was like, dude, we were interested in buying a house. So he's like, are you pre-qualified yet? And I was like, no. Well, you got to be pre-qualified first for a realtor to show you a house. So you can't window shop homes, unfortunately. Like you have to get somebody to show you the houses. And I was like, oh, okay. So we talked to our lender. At the time I was working for Wells Fargo. So we got somebody from Wells Fargo to help us out. And she was nice enough to show us the ropes and like give us guidance. And then we finally talked to a real estate agent, and the real estate agent is super nice. God bless her. She showed us too many homes. We felt so bad after the fact, because she was showing us left and right. Yuma, San Luis, like she was really nice. But we ended up getting a house in the foothills, and it was really, really cool experience. But not knowing like what you don't know it's like an issue, because it's like if you have somebody showing you the ropes, it's like a life hack. Instead of you trying to figure it out on your own. And that's
and that's why, you have to go, you don't know what you don't know. Right. So that's why you hire a professional, right?
Exactly.
Cause we're the subject matter experts in buying real estate, just like you're the subject matter expert in cameras and, I don't know what kind of filter, to use, or, things like that. So yeah, absolutely. So finding basically the right agent, you said is,
finding the right person, the right agent, like people that guide you. But it's also like the home buying process is like, it's huge. It's definitely comes down to the agent, but like who you're financing with. Are they giving you a good interest rate? Are you, unless you have, $100,000 to like just spend on a house. You need to know all these things. Or don't fall in love with the first home you see. Like those are all things that we would kind of like keep in the back of our head. It's like we're staying here for a while.
Sure.
So
yeah, no, I mean it's a huge investment, huge asset, for you, and having the right people, and I mean it's just, you said don't fall in love with the first home, that's partly true. However, you should always, absolutely, and it's like shopping around for a lender, real estate agent, and your home, right? Always have those options. Most people don't know they can shop around for lenders. It's like going and buying a car. You want to get the best deal. And different lenders offer different options, different programs, different pricing even. And also, now, you should be interviewing at least 2, maybe 3 real estate agents also, because you're trying to match up with the right person that works for you. You know, the next real estate agent might not work for me if I'm buying a house, but then I meet someone. You're playing matchmaker. You're in. You know, we talked about this in another episode. Is we're basically going on dates. We're shopping, and you know, because we are going to be working with the biggest financial asset or investment that we're going to make. So you have to have the right people with you or on your team.
100%. And like again, I say you don't know what you don't know. You know, with our first home, we were 22 years old.
Right.
We don't know a lot of stuff. I mean, we had just bought a car, you know, which that itself is like another story. But like, are you FHA? Does your property qualify for USDA?
What the heck does that mean, right?
Yeah, like can you buy down the interest rate? These are all things that when we just, you know, whoever helped us first, that was the only thing we knew. We're like, we're good. I used to work for Wells Fargo, so I was like, okay, well then they're not like scamming me, or they're going to look at our best interest. But you know, now you know that there's other people that are also going to give you the best interest, just in a different way. Maybe there's other programs that you could have bought into. Down payment assistance.
I mean, there's grants out there. There's money out there that people don't know they have access to.
Exactly.
So, you know, they could have gotten a $10,000 you know, down payment assistance, and they didn't even know, you know, so that's money out of their pocket that they could have, you know, basically gotten for free.
Yeah. But when you say shopping around with like, just like agents, also like finance or lenders, it's super important. I completely agree. You should do that. We didn't do that. We should. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of, we talk about, you know, shopping for lenders, shopping for real estate agents. So as a real estate agent, now knowing what you know, you're getting ready to buy your next home, right? And sell too. Sell your next home, buy your next home. Knowing what you know, what qualities or what skills, what experience are you looking for in your next real estate agent that you didn't know you needed with the first purchase?
Well, I want one that's patient. I don't want them to tell me, hey, you better sell now, or you're going to lose money or this and that. I want them to be open and honest, because I want to know, like, you know, if I really do fix what I need to fix, am I really going to sell? Or is it just like you know, or you should do it because they're asking you to do it and you should do it, you know, or, you know, things that are truthful, you know, don't sugarcoat it. You know, does it come with a stove? Tell me yes or no, so I can budget to buy a stove. Don't let me go to when I get my keys and then there's no stove there, you know? Things like that. I just feel like you really want somebody that's on your side. As like cheesy as it sounds, like that have your interest in, because if the person that's helping you is not on your side, or they're looking in the best interest, you know, let me know what the other side is also saying. Like, communicate with the other guy, because I know that there's an agreement that can be said. Don't like tell me, oh, I don't think they're gonna go for that, or like, oh, you want them to keep the fridge like when I'm buying the home. Like, well, just ask them. If they say no, then they say no. But But if they at least try.
I mean, the worst they can say is no. If not, they can, you know, send you a counter offer. You definitely want someone who, in the qualities I would look for, you know, as a home buyer before becoming a real estate agent is, I remember I was 18 when I bought my first house, and I didn't know anything about real estate, right? I just knew I wanted to own real estate. I knew I wanted to eventually become a real estate investor, but I didn't know anything. I didn't even know where to start. I just knew I'm going to own real estate. However I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, right? So I was 18. My second home, we definitely went with a different real estate agent, someone who actually cared. And the difference between the first real estate agent to the second, night and day. And then I knew what to look for. And then third home, and boom, oh my God. It's just having the different the different types of real estate agents makes all the difference in the world, including lenders as well.
Exactly.
So what I kept looking for is someone obviously with experience, someone who was skilled and explained the process to me clearly and didn't use real estate terms. Basically, someone who spoke to me in simple terms and did not make me feel dumb,
exactly.
because I didn't know. And a strong negotiator is definitely a must. You mentioned, I want to ask for this, and if your agent right away shuts you down, that
red flag.
Correct. Yeah, it's like what are we doing? So definitely someone who is a strong negotiator, someone who is confident in what they do for a living. That's extremely important. And so I feel like those are really good qualities. But again, we have a lot of first time home buyers, and the purpose of why I do what I do is because I want to educate first-time home buyers. I want to educate even second, third, fourth-time home buyers. We always learn something new every single time we buy a house, and it's important to explain the process thoroughly, clearly, and be concise about what's happening, and not take a look at 30 homes. And I'm going to give, if there's real estate agents here watching, I'm going to give you a pointer. Ask your clients to pick their top 3 homes. Send them a list, put them on a drip campaign, whatever. Ask them to pick the top 3 favorites. Start there. And I'll explain to you why. Because you see the 4th, 5th, 6th home, you're overwhelmed. It's a very emotional process. I keep saying this all the time. Real estate is buying and selling real estate is a very emotional process. Going and taking a look at 6, 7, 8, 9 homes, they're all at one point, it's going to be too much.
Yeah, they all going to start looking the
same. So that's why just pick your top 3 favorites. Most of the time, you're going to like one of the 3. You're actually likely going to love one of the, if you really select your top 3 favorite, you're going to choose one of the top 3. Right. So that's how you basically, and it could be the first house, but you have to take a look at other houses first.
Exactly.
So, but you might fall in love with that first house that you see. You never know. I've had clients who fall in love. They choose not to even look at any more homes. So, but other than that, I feel like, you have a good idea on what it is to be a home buyer. Now, what advice would you give? We have people wanting to buy a house right now, right? They're getting ready to speak to a lender or speak to a real estate agent. Obviously, it's great to speak to a real estate agent first, because then they guide you on selecting the best lender to give you options and the better pricing. But what's your number one most important advice to give to a first-time home buyer?
There's a lot of options as to how you can come up with a down payment. You have to save money, obviously. You want to save money as much money as you can. But there's percentages that you give down to your house as a first-time home buyer. Not exactly know what the exact percentage is at the moment. Different percentages. Like in our scenario this time around for this home that we are in, we were able to get the down payment as a gift. So if your parents or your loved ones have some money, they can gift you a bit, and then obviously you can pay them back later, or, and, that's not the only way. You don't have to save a lot of money if you can't, but if you can, and you're able to get a loan based on like people gifting, which there's other ways as well. That's one of the ways that we did it. My brother helped us out with the down payment. We agreed on paying him back, obviously, and we were able to not lose the opportunity on this home.
So what you're saying is, you as a home buyer, you have options.
Yes.
Of course, you have plenty of options, but the most important, the most important thing that you discovered when you were buying this house is that someone. So and most of the time, it's immediate family members. So you didn't know that you could be gifted
Exactly.
money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
like a form.
and it's huge. Yeah, absolutely.
They fill out a form that they're able to gift it.
Right.
Of course, they have to prove that the money's theirs.
Correct. Yeah.
where
It
came
has to be
from.
seasoned in the bank account. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it. But yes, no, and as and a lot of people don't know that you could be you could get a gift to use as a down payment or to pay for closing costs or any costs associated with buying a house. That's awesome. Well, Daniel, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, thank you for joining me, and I think what you're doing big things. You're doing incredible things. You're hitting it big, and I'm lucky and honored to be a part of this growth and see you growing and you helping me grow as well.
Yeah. So no, I think it's mutual, right? Like it's the respect is there and we want to see each other grow no matter how, but I think the intent is great. And I mean, it's only up from here. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. So, okay. So I always ask at the end of a show a question.
I know.
So what is one thing today that you are most grateful for?
Honestly, I think the time that I have. I used to work a 9 to 5 for years inside a 6x6 cubicle at an office, which is great. It gave me like the life I had then. But now having the only thing I could have changed from that was the time I had there. Like it was like pulling teeth to get a day off. It was like, hey, can you switch me the day? And they would, but then, they wouldn't pay it back. So it was always like not a lot. It was a lot of give, not a lot of take kind of situations with people. But the fact that I don't have to really ask anybody to like, can I take the day off or can I take my son to school or pick him up a little later? Time is just crazy.
Time is valuable.
When you look at it like that, yeah. And it's also great to have clients that are willing to like move a day.
Right.
Right. Hey, can we, instead of Wednesday, can we do Tuesday? Like that flexibility, because most of my clients are like that. They don't have a 9 to 5. They have a 24/7.
We have a 24/7, not a 9 to 5.
So it's obviously more flexible. So I'm very appreciative of the time that I get to now enjoy, I guess you could say. But and it only gets better. The better you manage it, the better you have, and it's kind of like, you have time, but what are you doing with your time, kind of thing. So you are grateful for the freedom and the flexibility. Exactly. Because in turn you can spend it with your family, and the new baby, and so absolutely, I get it, and I agree 1,000%. So 100%. Well, thanks, Daniel. Thank you.
Pleasure working with you, and let's keep doing big things.
Let's go, baby. Cut.
If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe.